I want you to hold your hand out in front of you right now. Open it wide and then close it into a tight fist. Squeeze as hard as you can. Feel the muscles in your forearm tighten. Feel the tendons in your wrist pull. It seems like such a simple, everyday action. You use this motion to open a jar of pickles, to carry your groceries, to hold the steering wheel, and to shake hands with an old friend. We take our hands for granted. We view them merely as tools to interact with the world. But I am here to tell you that your hand is much more than a tool. It is a dipstick. It is a direct line of communication to the deepest, most vital systems in your body. That squeezing motion you just did is one of the most powerful medical diagnostic tests in existence, and it tells a story that is often more accurate than your blood pressure cuff or your cholesterol numbers. Today we are going to talk about grip strength. But we are not talking about it in the context of bodybuilding or arm wrestling. We are talking about it as a biomarker of aging. There is a mountain of scientific evidence, including massive studies published in prestigious journals like the Lancet, showing that the amount of force you can generate with your hand is directly correlated to the health of your heart, the integrity of your brain, and your overall life expectancy. If your grip is weak, your heart is likely in danger. If your grip is fading, your risk of dementia is rising. It is a harsh truth, but it is a truth that gives you power because unlike your genetics, you can change your grip strength starting today. In this video, I am going to explain the biology behind why your hand strength predicts your heart attack risk. I am going to teach you a brilliant, free hack to test your own grip strength using a common bathroom scale, something you likely already have in your home. And I am going to give you the specific protocols to rebuild that strength, effectively turning back the clock on your biological age. By the end of this video, you will understand that a strong handshake is not just a sign of character, it is a sign of survival. To understand why your hand predicts your heart health, we have to stop looking at the body as a collection of separate parts. We have a cardiologist for the heart, a neurologist for the brain, and an orthopedist for the muscles. But the body does not work in silos. It is one integrated machine. When you squeeze your hand, you are not just using the muscles in your palm. You are firing a signal from your brain, down your spinal cord, through your nerves, and into the muscles. You are engaging your circulatory system to pump oxygenated blood to those tissues to fuel the contraction. You are relying on the structural integrity of your bones and ligaments. A strong grip represents a robust system. It means your nervous system is firing efficiently, your muscles are responsive, and your circulation is strong. Conversely, a weak grip is a sign of systemic frailty. It suggests that the body is losing its reserve capacity. The medical term for age-related muscle loss is sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the silent epidemic of the 60-plus population. It doesn't just mean you can't lift heavy boxes, it means your body is slowly metabolizing its own muscle tissue for energy because it is becoming inefficient. And here is the scary part, the heart is a muscle. If the muscles in your hand are withering and becoming weak due to lack of nutrients, poor circulation, or lack of use, you can be almost certain that the heart muscle is suffering from the same systemic decline. The hand is simply the easiest muscle to test. It is the external gauge for the internal engine. The study I mentioned from the Lancet, which is one of the most respected medical journals in the world, followed nearly 140,000 adults across high, middle, and low-income countries. The results were shocking. They found that grip strength was a better predictor of all-cause mortality, death from any cause, than systolic blood pressure. Think about that. We obsess over our blood pressure numbers. We take pills for it. We worry about it. Yet, a simple squeeze of the hand was more accurate at predicting who would die in the next few years. Specifically, for every 11-pound decrease in grip strength, there was a 17% increased risk of cardiovascular death and a 7% increased risk of heart attack. The weaker the hand, the stiffer the arteries, and the weaker the heart pump. But the danger goes beyond the heart. We have to talk about the brain. You might be worried about Alzheimer's or dementia. We all are. We do crossword puzzles and take fish oil. But did you know that grip strength is heavily linked to cognitive decline? To produce a maximal squeeze, your brain has to send a high-frequency, coordinated signal. It requires neural drive. As the brain begins to degenerate, often years before memory loss becomes obvious, that neural drive weakens. The signal gets fuzzy. The grip gets soft. A study published in the journal Neurology found that people with weaker handshakes were more likely to have less white matter in their brains. White matter is the wiring that connects different parts of the brain. If you are losing your grip, you might be losing your wiring. Now, I know what you are thinking. Okay, I understand it's important. But how do I know if I am weak? I don't have a medical dynamometer lying around the house. A dynamometer is the device doctors use to measure grip force. It costs hundreds of dollars. But you don't need one. You have a device in your bathroom that can give you a very good estimate. Your bathroom scale. Here is the bathroom scale grip test. You need a standard digital or analog bathroom scale. Step 1. Stand up straight with your feet shoulder width apart. Hold the scale with both hands, but not in the normal way. You are not standing on it. You are going to hold it like a suitcase or a steering wheel. Step 2. Position the scale vertically. You want to grip the sides of the scale. Depending on the design of your scale, you might need to squeeze the top and bottom edges, or the side edges. The goal is to apply pressure to the sensors that usually measure your weight. Step 3. This is the tricky part. You need to squeeze the scale with your hands. Imagine you are trying to crush the scale between your palms. You have to be careful not to drop it. Step 4. Look at the number. The number that pops up is the amount of force you are generating. Now, this isn't a perfect translation because scales are designed for feet, not hands, and the leverage is different. However, it gives you a baseline. A more accurate way to use the scale, if you have a mechanical one, is to place it on a table, stand next to it, and push down on it with one hand as hard as you can with a straight arm. This measures pushing strength, which correlates highly with grip strength. But for the squeeze test, you can also buy a simple, cheap hand dynamometer online for about $20. It is a worthy investment. But let's talk about the numbers. What should you be aiming for? In general terms, for men over 60, a grip strength of less than 60 pounds, roughly 26 to 30 kilograms, is considered weak and places you in the risk zone. For women over 60, a grip strength of less than 35 to 40 pounds, roughly 16 to 20 kilograms, is the danger threshold. If you squeeze the dynamometer or the scale and you can barely register 20 pounds, that is a red alert. That is your body telling you that you have crossed the line into frailty. Frailty is a medical diagnosis. It means you have no reserve. If you get the flu, or if you trip and fall, you don't have the muscle mass or the resilience to bounce back. Frailty leads to nursing homes. Strength leads to independence. The good news is that unlike your height, which you can't change, you can change your strength at any age. Muscle tissue is incredibly plastic. It wants to grow. It just needs the right signal. So, how do we fix a weak grip? We do not fix it by squeezing those little foam stress balls. Those are for stress relief, they are not for strength building. To build the kind of strength that saves your heart, you need high-tension input. You need to tell your body that your hands are required for survival. The number one exercise for this is the farmer's carry. This is the most functional, effective exercise a senior can do. It mimics real life. Step 1. Find 2 heavy objects. You don't need dumbbells. You can use 2-gallon jugs of water. A gallon of water weighs about 8 pounds, or 2 reusable grocery bags filled with cans of soup or books. Step 2. Pick them up, one in each hand. Stand tall. Shoulders back, chest up. Do not slouch. Step 3. Walk. Walk back and forth in your hallway or your living room. Walk until your grip starts to fail, until you feel like you are going to drop the bags. Then, put them down safely. Rest for a minute. Do it again. This exercise does 3 things. First, it trains your grip endurance. Second, it trains your shoulders and upper back to hold the weight, improving your posture. Third, and most importantly, it forces your heart to pump blood to extremities that are under tension. It is a cardiovascular workout disguised as a strength workout. If you do the farmer's carry 3 times a week, you will see your numbers on the scale go up, and you will feel your energy levels rise. The second exercise is the dead hang. This sounds intense, and for many, hanging from a pull-up bar is impossible. But we can modify it. If you have access to a secure bar, maybe at a local park or a gym, reach up and grab it. Keep your feet on the floor. Just bend your knees and let your weight sink down, so your hands are taking 50% or 60% of your body weight. You are stretching your shoulders and demanding your hands to hold on. This decompresses the spine, great for back pain, and builds massive grip strength. If you can't do a bar, you can do the kitchen sink hang. Stand at your sturdy kitchen sink. Hold on to the edge. Lean back, extending your arms fully, and let your body weight pull against your hands. It's a lower intensity version, but it wakes up the tendons. We also need to address the opening muscles. Your hand is designed to close, but it is also designed to open. If you only train the squeeze, you create an imbalance that can lead to elbow pain or arthritis. You need to train the extensors. Here is the hack: get a thick rubber band, like the one on a stalk of broccoli. Put it around your fingers and thumb, bunching them together. Now, try to open your hand against the resistance of the rubber band. Spread your fingers wide. Do this 10 to 15 times. You will feel a burn on the back of your hand and forearm. This balances the joint. It stabilizes the wrist. It is crucial for preventing carpal tunnel and maintaining dexterity. Let's talk about the arthritis excuse. I hear this all the time. I can't do grip exercises because my hands hurt from arthritis. I understand. The pain is real. But here is the paradox: the more you avoid using your hands, the weaker the muscles get, and the more unstable the joints become. Unstable joints hurt more. By strengthening the muscles around the arthritic joint, you create a natural brace. You take the pressure off the bone and put it on the muscle. The key is to start slow. If the farmer's carry hurts your knuckles, wrap the handle of the jug in a towel to make it thicker and softer. A thicker handle is easier to grip than a thin one. Use isometric exercises, where you squeeze something that doesn't move, like a tennis ball, for 5 seconds, and then release. This builds strength without grinding the joints. Do not let the pain become a prison. Motion is lotion. Now, we have to look at the fuel. You cannot build muscle out of thin air. You need protein. Sarcopenia is often driven by a lack of dietary protein. As we age, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance sets in. This means our bodies become less efficient at turning the steak you eat into the muscle on your arm. You need more protein now than you did at 40 just to maintain what you have. Are you eating protein at every meal? Are you having eggs for breakfast, or just toast? Are you having chicken or beans for lunch, or just a salad? If you are just eating toast and salad, your body is tearing down your muscle tissue to survive. Your grip is getting weaker because you are starving your muscles. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at every meal. This provides the amino acids, the bricks, that your body needs to reinforce the house. We also need to talk about magnesium and potassium. These are the electrolytes that allow muscles to contract and relax. If you are deficient in magnesium, and many seniors are, your muscles will be twitchy, weak, and prone to cramping. A weak grip can sometimes be a sign of electrolyte imbalance. Eating leafy greens, nuts, and seeds helps keep the electrical system of your muscles charged. Let's visualize the daily impact of this. Think about the jar of pickles. When you can't open it, you feel frustrated. You feel old. You feel dependent. You have to ask someone for help. That moment is a micro-trauma to your ego and your sense of self. Now, imagine you have been doing your farmer's carries for a month. You grab that jar. You engage your forearm. You apply the force. Pop. The lid turns. That sound is the sound of victory. It is the sound of independence. It might seem small, but being able to navigate your own physical world, opening jars, carrying laundry, turning doorknobs, is what keeps you living in your own home instead of an assisted living facility. Grip strength is the currency of freedom. There is another fascinating connection: recovery. If you do have to go to the hospital for a surgery, maybe a hip replacement or a gallbladder removal, your grip strength before you go in is the #1 predictor of how fast you will get out. Strong hands mean a strong body. Patients with strong grips have fewer complications, shorter hospital stays, and faster rehabilitation. It is your reserve tank. By building your grip now, you are packing your survival kit for any future health crisis. I want to address the "it's too late for me" mindset. I have patients in their 80s who have improved their grip strength significantly within 6 weeks. It is never too late. The nervous system is always learning. The muscles are always capable of adaptation. You might not become a powerlifter, but you can get back the strength to carry your own groceries. And that difference is everything. Let's talk about the daily newspaper drill. This is a simple one you can do while sitting in your recliner. Take a full sheet of newspaper. Hold it by the corner with one hand. Now, using only the fingers of that one hand, try to crumble the entire sheet into a tight ball in your palm. Walk your fingers up and down the paper. Gather it in. Squeeze it tight. Then, do it with the other hand. This works fine motor skills, dexterity, and crushing strength all at once. It costs nothing. It is strangely satisfying. And it keeps those neural pathways firing. There is a link between grip strength and sleep quality as well. Studies have shown that people with low muscle mass and weak grip tend to have poorer sleep quality and longer sleep latency. It takes them longer to fall asleep. Why? Because physical exertion helps regulate the circadian rhythm and burn off cortisol. If you are frail and sedentary, your body doesn't build up enough sleep pressure. By doing the farmer's carries, you are physically tiring your body in a healthy way, which leads to deeper, more restorative sleep. And we know that sleep is when the heart repairs itself. It is all a beautiful, interconnected circle. So, here is your homework assignment. Step 1, the test. Go to your bathroom scale or order a dynamometer. Get your number. Write it down. Date it. This is your baseline. Be honest with yourself. Step 2, the equipment. Go to the kitchen. Find your weights. Fill 2 water bottles. Or buy 2 cans of paint. Whatever you can hold. Step 3, the routine. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Do 3 rounds of the farmer's carry. Walk until you are tired. Do the rubber band stretches. Step 4, the protein. Look at your next meal. Is there protein? If not, add it. Step 5, the retest. In 4 weeks, squeeze that scale again. Watch the number go up. When you see that number rise, you are not just seeing a number. You are seeing your risk of heart attack go down. You are seeing your risk of dementia go down. You are seeing your life expectancy go up. You have the power to change the trajectory of your aging. It is literally in your hands. Do not let your grip slip away. Grab onto your health. Squeeze it tight. And don't let go. Your heart is counting on your hands. Help it out. Start squeezing today. Thank you for listening. This information is practical, it is proven, and it is vital. Share this with your friends, maybe challenge them to a scale squeeze contest. Make health a community effort. Stay strong, stay active, and keep holding on.